Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar this morning. We are going to talk about some interesting new things happening in market. But first, let me remind you of our February webinar, which will be on February 13th at 10 o'clock. And it's something we're going to do because we've heard so many people say that there's a lot of change in the industry and there's a lot of new partners out there. So we're going to do a Visit NC 101, where we're going to introduce our staff, what the staff does. So if you have new people in your organization that you would like to get more familiar with our team, please join this webinar again on February 13th at 10 a.m. And it's going to be a great lead up to our conference, which happens in April. So that's February, but let's stick to January right now. So with us today are some experts from the Tourism Exchange. And many of you have heard me speak about the Tourism Exchange over the last couple of years in very broad brushstrokes. So over the last year or so, Tourism Exchange has really drilled down and had a lot of great changes and has made it so much easier for you all to get involved. And if you're not familiar with Tourism Exchange, it is an online platform that has been around for over a decade, but fairly new to the US. There are a few states using it, and Travel South has really bought into it. And each of the Travel South states have paid down the fees so that it makes it even easier for you and your partners to become part of this exchange and get noticed. So it's a very low cost entry into international and some domestic markets, but the experts are going to tell you about that. So I'm going to introduce Leslie Edmiston and Nell Knox, who will be able to take you through this journey and answer any questions you may have. So ladies.
Thank you, Heidi. Good morning, everyone. I'm excited for the opportunity to speak with you today. So I'm Nell Knox. I'm a DMO Success Manager for Tourism Exchange USA, and I've had the privilege of getting to work with some of you. I see some familiar names on the call, so that's great. And I'm also excited that our team's growing. I'm joined by Leslie Edmiston, also a DMO Success Manager. Leslie is the account lead now for North Carolina. And so Leslie and I are working together to support all the southern states that are part of the Travel South program across the region. But I'm going to turn it over to Leslie to get us started to share today's agenda and just to give some more information and background on where we are with this platform. So Leslie, I'm going to advance the slide and hand it to you.
Good morning, everyone. So to give you a little background on myself and why I've been tasked to be your DMO Success Managers, I've been working with Heidi for over 2 years on all things international with Visit North Carolina. So I have a pretty good understanding of Visit North Carolina and what you all have to offer your visitors. And so I'm excited to be working in this aspect. So I wear a Miles partnership hat with Heidi, and I'm also going to be working with you guys on Tourism Exchange. So our agenda today, the first thing we want to do is we want to give you a refreshed introduction to Tourism Exchange. All of us need a refreshing. It is beginning of 2025, and we all are in a state of what are we doing? So we're here to kind of help get the ball rolling again on Tourism Exchange. We want to share ways you can promote this platform to your local tourism businesses. And we want to give you the latest updates, including the National Travel Trade Portal. It's a first of its kind distribution channel. While we're going along, please feel free to drop questions in the chat and we will answer them as they come up. So first thing is, what is Tourism Exchange? Today we'll walk you through the what, how, and why surrounding Tourism Exchange. So first off, here's a little graphic for you, but it is a B2B platform. That's important to remember. It's not consumer, it's B2B platform. And it's going to connect and share live rates and availability for the US-based suppliers like yourself to just our businesses in your community, to distributors and buyers across the globe. There is a domestic aspect to it as well, but it is one of only platforms of its kind. It operating all tourism types, product types. So we're talking accommodations, activities, tours, and events. It helps source new product for globally recognized booking sites like Expedia and Google, as well as travel trade. Our team also provides hands-on support every step of the way to help businesses get converted if they are offline and want to move to online, or if they want to expand their product distribution. One thing I want to note too, at the bottom of the slide, if you'll notice, the state of North Carolina has invested in tourism exchange through Travel South, like Heidi mentioned. There are no upfront costs to tourism businesses and DMOs to get started using the platform, and we'll go into greater detail about the cost and how that happens later. So what tourism exchange is not is important to note as well. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, it is not consumer-facing booking platform. Its goal is to connect new suppliers and existing suppliers to more places where travel products are purchased. While destinations can feature bookable product on their websites, it is an additive opportunity. It is not intended to disrupt existing contracts. This is really important to note. I think that makes people nervous that they will be interrupting relationships they currently have. It is not that, it is additive. So we want to create more ways to bring product to market globally, not replace existing trade relationships. We will not be setting rates in the marketplace. That is not what we do. It is based on live rates direct from the supplier's booking system and distributors who connect directly to the exchange and set their own rates. And lastly, it is not to act as a curator, a packager, or promoter of products. It is a technology platform, plain and simple. So it's going to enable transactions. It doesn't curate, recommend, research these businesses at all, or negotiate rates. It plays no role in inspecting or validating or updating supplier products. So that's not the job of tourism exchange. So a little bit of history. Heidi touched on this. It has been around for 10 years. It started in Australia. It is now operating in the UK, Japan, and now the US. Miles in 2022, Miles Partnership became the US territory partner and created Tourism Exchange USA. And then in May of 23, Brand USA signed a national license, and Travel South became the first region to sign up. So we are the pioneers.
Awesome. Thank you, Leslie. And so now we've covered kind of what Tourism Exchange is and a reminder on the history. So I want to take a closer look with y'all at how this platform works. And what my favorite resource here, we've got a video that I'm going to play. And this is we call it our explainer video. It's available on our YouTube, but it visually illustrates the way the platform works and underscores what Leslie just shared with you about how real world users are benefiting from the exchange. So,
from walking tours to adventurous feats and downtown hotels to mountain retreats, welcome to Tourism Exchange USA, a B2B digital marketplace that's making America's accommodations, tours, and attractions more bookable in more places. Tourism Exchange USA, powered by Brand USA, helps connect different segments of the travel industry, including suppliers, distributors, buyers, and destinations, in order to expand reach, increase visibility, and generate bookings. Take these tourism supplier businesses, for example, Tina's Bed and Breakfast in North Carolina, Bob's Fishing Guide Service in Colorado, and Sam's Walking Tours in Oregon all have the same problem. They can take bookings on their websites, but aren't discoverable on popular travel booking sites, which means they're missing out on a lot of potential business. By getting connected to the exchange, all three can directly do business with travel buyers and distributors around the world, including popular booking sites, tour operators, travel agents, and more. Once connected, consumers and travel trade alike can access the latest availability and rates in real time, which helps Tina, Bob, and Sam expand their reach and sales to markets around the world, diversifying their product distribution with no upfront costs. Now, let's say Anita, a travel agent in India, has a client that wants to go on a fishing trip in Colorado. And Carlos, who runs a popular booking website in Brazil, wants to offer more bed and breakfasts in the Southeast US to provide his customers with quaint accommodations. By getting connected to the exchange, both Anita and Carlos are able to source new and diverse products directly from suppliers like Bob's Fishing Guide service in Colorado and Tina's Bed and Breakfast in North Carolina in order to meet demand and keep customers happy. With more businesses across the U.S. accessible to a wider array of buyers and distributors, destination marketing organizations also benefit from the exchange. By supporting local businesses with tools that can help offline businesses start taking online bookings and getting online businesses connected to wider distribution, DMOs can start to influence local product visibility and improve the way their destination shows up to travel buyers around the world. The exchange makes it easier for DMOs to ensure that authentic local experiences are visible online and include them in international campaigns in new ways. It's a win for everybody. Tina, Bob, and Sam are each connected to global distribution channels, which helps grow their businesses, increase visibility of their destinations, and makes it easier for DMOs to promote a more complete view of the markets they represent. From suppliers and tour operators to destinations and booking systems, Tourism Exchange USA connects all of these segments of the travel industry to grow inbound international travel across the United States and expand opportunities for local tourism businesses to participate in the global travel marketplace. Join our mission to make the USA bookable. Start by getting connected at tourismexchangeusa.com.
All right, so hang on, let's not watch it again, but you can. We'll send you the link to it at the end. But to summarize, this is an illustration of how the Tourism Exchange USA platform works. So over on the left, suppliers are connecting their inventory and rates to the exchange in a variety of ways. So if it's a supplier who's currently using offline booking, maybe you're taking phone calls or people book with you by email, we have a free tool that you can take advantage of to load your inventory online. You'll see it on the bottom left, TX Load, and we'll talk a little more about it throughout. But this is a free resource that's built into the platform. Or if you're a supplier, a business, and you're using a booking system, like you'll see Fair Harbor here and SiteMinder, Ventrata, we call those connected booking systems. So we integrate with that reservation technology or channel manager when you join the platform. And once you're on the platform, you choose distribution options of where you want to sell according to your business type. Now, over on the right, you'll see each distribution option. These can be receptive operators, travel agents, tour operators. Each of them have different terms and costs when you select them individually. And our newest distribution option you'll see up in the middle top, that would be the National Travel Trade Portal, which debuted as an exclusive part of this platform in October. So once distributors accept the suppliers and agree to do business together, they are started using the platform. And just to note, our team at the exchange helps suppliers do whatever initial setups required by the distributors, and we help you with all the setup getting started on the platform. So when the suppliers get a booking, once you're live, you're working with distributors, you get a booking, that's the first time that any fees come into play. And so at that point, you do pay the distributor commission, which you've previously agreed upon when you started working with them, and you pay a 3.5% platform fee. But only when bookings start do fees start. There's no upfront cost for these businesses to join. There's no monthly fee. And that's all thanks to the investment of North Carolina covering that initial cost. So at a high level, there's really 3 basic steps that you're going through as a business to get connected. You're going to register with the Get Connected form. It's a quick, easy form. I think there's just a few fields you fill out. Then it'll prompt you to get started with connecting your inventory. You'll do that through registering, as we talked about. And then finally, your third step is just picking which distribution options you want to do and exploring those distribution options. So for those of you who are really visual like me, I want to show you. So these are some of the booking systems that we are working with already. So if you have businesses or you are a business and you're already using SiteMinder to take reservations for the accommodation that you have, then it's very easy for us to connect with you. And we're adding new ones all the time. If you use Fair Harbor to take reservations for the boat tours that you offer, like we're already working with them. And I've got gateway ticketing systems on here because we're in the process of getting them integrated with the platform. And so we're always adding new ones. If you don't see, the one you use on this list, we have that TX load option, and we also are bringing new ones in all the time. So we've kind of
Now-
covered the what. Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have a
No,
question.
go. We've got a question in.
Yes. How and when do suppliers and businesses get paid is the question. I'll let you answer that.
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. So we use Stripe as our payment processing system. So during that initial setup process for suppliers, when you're joining the platform in the registration period, you're going to create a Stripe account if you don't have one, or link your existing Stripe account, but that is our payment method. That's who we work with. And you're getting paid after those bookings happen. So you're getting paid directly through that Stripe account when you link it in. So you're not getting like a check in the mail from us or something like that. You'll have that's all happening digitally. That's a really good question. Yes. Okay, so we've covered a little bit about the what and the how. I want to get down to the meat and bones of why. Like, why should we do this? This seems really cool, but like, what's in it for us to get connected? And so looking at the why participate, I'm thinking about the folks I'm seeing on the call, and a lot of y'all fall into the DMO category. A lot of you are promoting tourism in your communities. But I do see like there's some business and industry partners too. And so there's opportunities for both of you on the platform, but I want to start just looking here, what are the opportunities for local DMOs? And then we'll look at what are the opportunities for these businesses. So for local DMOs, we're working with you to promote your community's tourism businesses. We're partners. We want to help you identify and reach the businesses in your community who are going to benefit from this platform. And this is important because the more businesses that are participating in this platform, the more value you as a DMO will get from the exchange. And so that value is kind of the second bullet point you see here. So when you can get data from us, you're finding out strategic insights on who is coming and what their products they're purchasing, when they're coming, and you're also getting info from your marketing partners, and you're able to see who's driving that visitation. And so DMOs can promote the exchange to their membership as a resource. What I've said before is it's a tool in your toolkit. Like Leslie talked about in the beginning, we're not replacing any existing work you're doing. This is another thing to bring forward to your membership, to the local businesses, and give them a resource. This is a way for you to increase your visitation. This is a way for you to join a platform that the upfront fees have already been paid. You do not have a monthly subscription to use it. So it's really a chance for you to bring them added value. And another thing we offer for DMOs is that many of you have listed all these businesses on your website already. And so we do offer the opportunity to work with us to make that product bookable through your DMO website. And that's another no cost opportunity. So you have highly qualified audiences. We can work with you to drive direct bookings to those businesses through your website. But the bottom line is the more suppliers that participate, the more value you're going to get. So looking at it from the supplier side, If you're a tourism business, we call you a supplier. And you're taking reservations online already. Again, easy to connect with your existing booking system. If you're not selling online, this is arguably even more of a value because we're able to take you from pen and paper reservations to getting connected and having booking capability not only through the tourism exchange, but also on your own website, and there's no startup cost. And so that's giving you a chance to expand your digital distribution to many of the most popular travel agents and manage this all in one place. You have a dashboard and you'll be able to go in and see all of this happening. You're tracking your bookings and seeing which distribution channels are bringing you the most revenue. And again, like I know we're emphasizing it a lot, but there's no upfront cost or startup subscription fee. You're only paying a fee when you're getting a confirmed booking. So I'm going to turn it back over to Leslie here for a minute and let her talk a little bit about the specific businesses that are going to see benefit.
Okay, so typically there are two types of businesses that we see a good fit for, and those are activities and accommodation providers. So for your activities, those are typically time tours or entry tickets. We don't accommodate for anything that does not have a ticket, a paid ticket with it. So I'm thinking of your for North Carolina, Outdoor Adventures jumps off the page to me. Museums, food tours, definitely your breweries and distilleries, but accommodations as well. You in North Carolina has so many niche properties and really interesting places to stay, and international people love that. So you have inns, bed and breakfast, non-chain hotels, parks, campgrounds, tree houses, just a lot of really interesting properties that would fit well on the exchange, and they're underrepresented right now. So that's why we would like to get them bookable. Neither of these are a finite list, and our goal is again to get the underrepresented providers and represented on the exchange so that it's bookable. So then distribution channels by type. So what we're talking about here is this is the last step where you start exploring these distribution options. Suppliers will find this list and they can know what their fees are, their payment types that they allow, and allows them to research options and select what's best for their business. There's a view opt-in button, and that provides them an overview, very quick overview of what those terms and conditions are for each distribution channel. They can opt in and opt out of channels at any time, so it's very, very flexible. And there's no minimum number of distributors that are required. This slide shows the distribution channel suppliers will have the opportunity to connect to via the exchange based on their business type. If you'll notice, Google, Booking.com, TripAdvisor, for tours, Viator, Google Things to Do. Again, going back to destination websites, we can use DMOs can become distributors. And then coming soon is places .travel. Again, no upfront costs is the 3.5% platform fee, and then whatever the fees are that the distribution channel requires.
And Leslie, I'll jump in. A question that's come up often is for DMOs, like when is the best time to become a distributor if a DMO is interested in that? Like we already list all of these businesses on our website, like how do we become live and bookable? And I would say don't hesitate on that. Like that's a really great opportunity and it incentivizes the local businesses as well. So having your own website as a distribution option, like definitely something to take action on and start thinking and talking about now. No need to wait on that.
Yes, and we have
Minimum number of suppliers that need to be signed up before you can think about that or anything like that.
right. And again, we have the personnel, the team to help you do that. It's nothing you have to do on your own.
So one of the options that you see on here at the top is the National Travel Trade Portal, and that's the one that I mentioned is new that we debuted in October. And I want to talk just a little bit more about the National Travel Trade Portal because I think this is one of the things that we've really brought this forward as an option based off industry feedback and hearing from these businesses of what types of distribution interests them. So we call it the Trade Portal for short. And this is a private marketplace that's only available to businesses and buyers who are using the exchange. It is within the platform. And so when businesses register to use the platform, the trade portal is something that they can opt in. So when Leslie said that opt-in button, like they'll see this as an option to opt into. And once their product becomes available for sale in the portal, buyers that are registered to buy through the portal will see their product. And we really encourage and work with buyers to join and shop through the portal. So that's going to be travel agents and tour operators domestically and, of course, the international markets. But what I think is the most value here is that this platform has a preset capped commission fee. And you can see at the bottom, it's 12% for accommodation providers and it's 15% for activity providers. And so how does this work? Let's say like I own Nell's Walking Tours. So what I do, I set up my business account, I link my inventory or list my inventory on the platform, and then I use my opt-in button and opt into the trade portal. And so now like a travel agent in Germany can book a tour on behalf of their client. And all that I incur is that 3.5% platform fee and the 15% commission. And that commission's capped. So the buyer, the buyer in Germany can't change that and say, well, actually, I'm bumping it up to 18. It's capped. And so this means I have a consistent source of international business and it's at a set commission rate. So all the different buyers using the platform are agreeing to that set commission rate. So I'll show you in this next slide, you can get a glimpse at registration that we have underway on that buyer side. So we already have operators from 10 countries who have created accounts and gotten active with us. And you can see many more, the registration is already in process. So what we're finding is that they see the trade portal as a new resource to book unique product. And this has been really exciting since October. And I'd say it's one of the bigger things we have going on with the platform that is really generating some excitement in the industry. So I will turn it back over to Leslie and let her do a little summary and then talk next steps for us. Leslie?
So that's a lot of information, guys, and we realize that. Again, we do not expect you to be the experts. We are in place to help you. That is my job solely, is to help you. So we're going to partner with you, and we want to help you promote your tourism businesses in your communities. Obviously, we want to help you reach suppliers who can benefit from the platform. All of that benefits you, as Nell mentioned earlier as well, because of the data you get back once all of those businesses get involved. We support the tourism suppliers who want to join the exchange every step of the way. No one is left. We hold hands through the whole process. Please keep in mind, state of North Carolina, has already invested in the platform. And many of you take advantage of those opportunities that we offer DMOs, but we still have work to do. Our focus now is to get suppliers active on the platform. Number one objective, but we need your support to do that, to reach suppliers and the right suppliers that will benefit from the exchange. Once you help us connect with the suppliers, we'll help the businesses get connected, become bookable, and expand their distribution globally. So what do those next steps look like in concise form? We are going to ask you to agree to host a supplier webinar for your local membership. Now that we've educated you, now we want to educate them. We are talking about a webinar that we do not expect you to be the expert. We will educate your suppliers. Once we get that webinar date planned, then DMOs can communicate with your membership through about the webinar through, e-blast and newsletters and social media posts that really help drive interest. So that's what we would need your help on as well. And then the next thing I would like to say as a next step would be just go and fill out the Get Connected form on tourismexchangeusa.com if you are a supplier. That's very easy. The form there, we have highlighted on the slide, it has 5 fields. What is your business? First and last name, contact email, and the business name. And then our supplier, we neglected to mention this, but it's important. Our supplier success manager takes it over from there. We're the DMO success managers. Once this form is filled out, the supplier success manager takes on the role of walking them through the whole process and getting them on the platform.
That's right, Leslie. It's a great point. We have a whole team that's dedicated to that process. So suppliers might ask you questions as you start promoting this to them, and you don't have to be the expert. Send them to us, send them to this Get Connected form, and we have resources to get those questions answered.
That's right. So next slide has my contact information. My email is there live. You can also just schedule a call with me through that link right there, and it'll go directly to my calendar, so you'll see when I'm available. And I'd love to chat with you offline if you have questions and didn't want to ask them here, or however I can be of support to you. So the last slide we have here is just the video that we showed you earlier, and we are sending all this out to you once the call is over. The video that we showed earlier, there's no such thing as a silly question link to our website, because there's a lot of questions that surround, I understand. There's a newsletter we do that has updates, and then getting connected with us on LinkedIn, where we also engage there. So that is all we have for today. Does anyone have any questions other than the ones we've already entertained? Let's see. Jessica has a question. How can DMOs find out if any of our hotels are already on the Tourism Exchange platform? You can contact me and I can tell you that. We have spreadsheets that have all that information, Jessica. So I can, Jessica, you and I have emailed back and forth. I can follow up with you directly.
That's a great question. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Are most chain hotels already on the platform is a question that's come in.
We don't have chain hotels attached yet. They're working on that, but they wanted to first. My understanding was that we were trying to target the underrepresented first.
Yes. So when you saw the list that Leslie had up about which suppliers are the right fit, when you're working in your community, we're going after the beds and breakfasts and the boutiques and the niche. Chain hotels, we definitely have an angle working with that. We actually have a dedicated team member with the exchange who is working on building those big time connections with the chain hotel booking systems. I certainly understand some chain hotels are franchised through individual owners and that kind of thing, but ultimately they use the booking system associated with their brand. And so that's being handled on a much larger scale and a different angle. Any chain hotels that are already on the platform are there because they are part of aggregated content from one of those distributors. But right now we're saying if you're a chain hotel and you're interested, let us know for sure. Please express your interest.
Okay, we have another question. I am a B&B owner. Do I need to work directly through my DMO to get connected?
No, you don't. You do not. That's great. If you're a B&B owner or you have contacts who are asking this question, so you do not. The DMOs, like our ask of DMOs is to help promote us and to work with us in those ways, hosting this webinar and educating your communities. But no, you would go directly to that Get Connected form. And I think we've got in the chat, there's a link to it that's been dropped, and you'll see it afterwards. But you are welcome to go ahead and start getting connected now. Okay, we've got another. If a property or attraction doesn't have a booking site, does this create one for them, and is there a cost for that? So it doesn't automatically create a booking site for you. The TX load feature, I think, is what this question's asking about, maybe. The way that that works is that when you sign up, so if you're a B&B owner and you take reservations by a phone call, when you register and join this platform, it's going to prompt you. One of the steps is linking your inventory, and you can't do that if you don't have online inventory. So that tool lets you build online bookable inventory, and you can link that to your site. That is a little bit more build, and that's where that supplier success team comes in, but they can work with you to help build that out. And no, there is not a cost to use that feature. TX Load is a free part of the platform. These are great questions. Like, please bring them on if there's any more. We love questions.
I don't think there are any questions left in the chat to answer.
We've got one more. Okay, look, this came through. Can you go over what types of suppliers you work with besides lodging? Yes. And this, let's go into that. So yes, we certainly work with the lodging. And then Leslie on that slide shared that we can work with museums, outdoor suppliers. Like, one thing I would say, if you sell a ticket to your attraction, we can work with you. Free attractions aren't going to benefit, because with the fee structure, you know, the cost of doing business, if your ticket costs $0, then your net is going to be negative. But if you sell a ticket, then you have that opportunity. So we by no means have an exhausted list. Like, if you consider yourself a tourism attraction and you sell a ticket, museums, one that's maybe not on the list, botanical gardens, certainly. If you have any kind of tour, it could be a rafting tour, it could be walking tours, it might be a history tour. But if you require a at-cost ticket, then we can work with you. Leslie, what else? You
I was
know,
also going to
Carolina
say
market well.
festival. North Carolina has
Festivals,
a lot of
certainly.
festivals.
Yes,
Festivals are things that can go on the exchange as well.
certainly.
Anything ticketed?
Breweries, we've got a couple breweries that we've worked with in other states, and some of them have brewery tours, tastings, like wine tour tastings, that kind of thing. And if they have an annual festival that they sell tickets to, that's certainly something that we can work with and work in. So those are all different options. That's a great question. And I'd like to schedule a webinar for the NC Agritourism Networking. Yay, we would love that too. We'll get with you and help you with that. That would be wonderful. We're available to speak to any group that would like us to come speak. We want to do that. So it's definitely possible.
All right. Do we think that that's the end of the questions? If anybody has more questions, you know, you can either drop them to me and I can get them to Nell and Leslie, or feel free when we send this out just to contact them directly.
Yeah.
We will get that all set. But thank you both. This was very, very informative. It's great to see where tourism exchange is going, and in this disruptive state that we're in, where we're disrupting everything. I think this is a really good place for our attractions, festivals, anybody to get on. And I think you guys are doing a great job, and we support this wholeheartedly. And I think this is the way of the future for connecting people. So we will be sending this out to you all afterward. And if for some reason I don't have your email or whatever, please just reach out to me and I will get it to you. It will also be on the partner website, the Visit NC partner website, as past webinars. And then you can also keep a lookout for our February 13th Visit North Carolina 101 webinar. You can either sign up on that partner site or just watch for the link in news link. So with that, I think that we are all set. And thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who joined us. Have a great day.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.